They say great work requires great results. Good people put that work in with Jutame Fit. Personal instructor, Rob Ski. Certified in nutrition and fitness. Good people, tell them Blanco sent you. Good people. You're now tuned in. Sonny Blanco, I got a story to tell you, heard? Today, episode 3, Chess, Not Checkers, featuring the pioneers of Chicago blues and the blues sound. Today, we got a double feature, good people. Double feature, right? We introducing Jimmy RODGERS and Willie DIXON. Good people. Good people. You already know what it is, right? You already know what it is, right? Hey, yo, listen. Grab your popcorn. Grab your drinks. Grab your get right, you heard? Cause it's movie time. Enjoy the presentation. Now, in the first episode, I gave you the Godfather. No other than Muddy Waters. In the second episode, I gave you your favorite uncle. Yeah, your favorite uncle. That being Little Walter. Alright, in this episode, this your second favorite uncle, right? Yeah, this Uncle Jimmy right here. Now listen, it's not for sure if his first name was Jay or either James, but his middle name was Arthur and his last name being Lane. Born June 3rd, 1924 in Ruralville, Mississippi. No mention of his parents' name, but it was said that he later on adopted his stepfather's surname, with that being RODGERS. Raised between Atlanta and Memphis, as a young lad, he found himself with a passion for music, learning how to play the harmonica from a childhood friend known as Snooky Pryor. As a teenager, he switched to the guitar, ending up in East St. Louis. He began to play professionally with Robert Lockwood Jr. Jimmy moved to Chi-Town in the mid-40s. By 1946, he recorded as a harmonica player and a singer for the Harlem record label, ran by J. Mayo Williams. In 1947, Jimmy meets no other than Muddy Waters and Little Walter, and the Headhunters, No Freaky, were formed. Mind you, the Headhunters, because they played so good together, they stole gigs from local bands, hence Head Cutters or Hunters.
Yeah, dollar, you bitch, I'm that guitar. I can bust more than your dollar. Yeah, you do, dollar. You a headhunter? Huh? You fixing to chop my head off with my own guitar?
They began recording and releasing music, each of them credited as solo artists. These guys collectively defined the Chicago blues, specifically south side of Chicago. In 1950, a short 3 years after meeting Muddy, Jimmy achieved success as a solo artist with the hit song, That's Alright, released by Chess Records. But just like Little Walter, he still played with Muddy's band after going solo up until 1954. In the mid-50s, Jimmy had several successful releases, most of them featuring Little Walter or Big Walter Horton on the harmonica. In the late 50s, he gradually exited from the industry. In the early 60s, he briefly returned as a member of Howlin' Wolf's band, before quitting altogether for the better part of the decade, returning yet again in the 70s as basically a in-studio musician, and then eventually retiring altogether. Jimmy RODGERS, the third member of the infamous Headhunters, No Freaky. the original hit maker, the pen, the orchestrator of the sound, Mr. Willie Dixon, born William James Dixon, July 1st, 1915, in Vicksburg, Mississippi. Father's name, not known, but his mother was Daisy. Willie was one of 14 children, born into sharecropping. His love for lyrics and music was acquired at a young age due to his mother, Daisy, who had a habit of rhyming things that she said. As a young child, Willie picked up on that skill quickly. At the age of 4, Willie sung his first song at Springfield Baptist Church. At the age of 7, he became an admirer of Little Brother Montgomery, who was a featured pianist for a band. As a young teenager, Willie was outside. For real, Willie was outside, getting into all types of mischief. As a result, he found himself in the Hooscow in Mississippi. This is where Willie was introduced to the blues, and the love affair would never die. In his later teenage years, he learned to sing harmony for a local carpenter named Theo Phelps, who led a gospel quintet known as the Union Jubilee Singers, in which Willie sang bass. The group regularly performed on the Vicksburg radio station WQBC. Being a lover and a writer of poetry, he started adapting his poems into songs and even sold them to other local groups. Willie packed it up and hit the road bound for Chicago in 1936. Now, Willie was a man of considerable stature, no freaky, standing at 6 foot and 6 inches tall, weighing in over 250 pounds. And son was nice with his hands. He took up boxing and was very successful, winning the Illinois State Golden Gloves Heavyweight Championship in 1937. He became a professional boxer and worked briefly as the Brown Bomber, Joe Louis's sparring partner. But after 4 fights, Willie quit over a dispute with his manager, all about the money. Now, while at the gym sparring, Willie met a young man by the name of Leonard Caston. The two of them will harmonize at times, and it was Leonard who persuaded Jimmy to pursue music seriously. Leonard believed in his friend so much, he made Willie his first bass, made from a tin can and a string. Willie's experience singing bass made the instrument familiar. He also learned how to play the guitar. In 1939, Willie was the founding member of the Five Breezes, along with Leonard, Joe Bell, Gene Gilmore, and Willie Hawthorne. The group blended blues, jazz, and vocal harmonies. But again, Willie had another setback. Willie was the first Muhammad Ali before Muhammad. Willie was in prison for 10 months for his refusal to join the military during World War II. Willie said he would not go to war because he would not fight for a nation in which institutionalized racism and racist laws, which were prevalent. After jail, he formed a group named the 4 Jumps of Jive. He then reunited with Leonard and they formed the Big 3 Trio, which went on to record for Columbia Records. Willie signed with Chess Records as a recording artist, but found himself more involved with the administrative tasks for the label. By 1951, he was a full-time producer, talent scout, session musician, and staff songwriter. He also produced for Chess' subsidiary label, Checker Records. During the 50s up until 1965, Jimmy's pen was on fire.
Here's your riff right there. Ain't nothing to that. Gypsy woman told my mother before I was born, you got your boy child coming. Now, muddy was muddy way before I came along. I just took his persona and put it in ways that everybody can understand. I mean, it was simple. He was the cat every man wanted to be and every woman wanted to love.
Penning hits like Hoochie Coochie Man, I Just Want to Make Love to You, Little Red Rooster, My Baby, Spoonful, and You Can't Judge a Book by Its Cover. These hits were recorded by the greats Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, Little Walter, and Bo Diddley. Willie also wrote for other labels such as Cobra Records and Bluesville Records. He also ran his own label known as Yambo Records and 2 subsidiary labels called Supreme and Spoonful. But during the late 60s and early 70s, Willie was running straight to the bank with heavy deposits, you heard, that bag, due to the fact that rock and roll was on the rise, no freaky. And Willie's blues hits were turned into some of rock and roll's biggest hits by the biggest groups ever, such as the Rolling Stones, Eric Clapton, and Fleetwood Mac. Good people, I hope you enjoy. Chess, not checkers. Easy.